Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the last module of HARP, which is the system that's helping you curb phone addiction for good. Welcome to personalizing your approach to progress. That is what the P stands for in the HARP system. And I just want to reiterate here that this is the customization section of the course. So previously, before we were going through the H module, which is sort of the foundations, right, of everything that we've talked about. The A and the R, these were both the tactical side of things. And now we are on the last module. Where we are right now is the customization or the make it yours module. This is where it starts to get really, really exciting, even more exciting than somehow than it has been for the whole course. So welcome to Personalize Your Approach to Progress. This is all about the ways in which you can start enacting real change in your life by applying the concepts from the last three modules. I'm so glad that you're here, and I cannot wait to dive in. This is the introduction to the module, so sit back, relax, and enjoy as we go through some of these concepts and ideas to introduce what this module is all about. So in order to make any of these methods and practices work, you have to contextualize them every single day with your own life. And I want to write down contextualization right in between our little warm-up here. Contextualization is something that is one of the most important things that you can keep in mind as you move through not only this course, but life in general. If you can apply the things that you experience, that you learn to your own life, and more importantly, the context of your own life, all of a sudden you're going to sort of unlock how it feels to really make some lasting progress because you're looking at it through the lens of your own experience in your own life. So you are unique, your antidote is too. And if you haven't caught on, that is what we are building in this whole entire course. All four modules that we've been doing have been focused on building your antidote and finding what it is that will help you most effectively curb phone addiction. So your antidote is your individual personalized solution to phone addiction. And remember, everyone's antidote is different. Everyone has their antidote. So remember, we've sort of gone through a bunch of concepts that relate to digital mindfulness and how you can be the most productive as possible. And I want to reiterate them here and sort of remind you that all of these elements that we've gone through are parts of an antidote. And depending on which ones you resonate with the most, that is your antidote. So remember, we talked about your preferred method of meditation. We also talked about your preferred method of exercise here. We also talked about your systems that you want to set for goals and the things that you want to build around building systems that just improve your life on a daily basis. Remember, we have talked about environment change. That has everything to do with physical as well as digital spaces. Remember, we also have your preferred mental and emotional tactics. So I'll just write mental / emotional tactics. That goes here. Those things include mental contrasting, reflection, awareness of big tech. That's one of my favorite ones. Awareness of how you spend your time, and social accountability. Those were all things that we covered in the last module. And then lastly here we have schedule. So how these things, these systems, and these concepts and tactics and techniques all fit into your own personal schedule. So it is all about choosing what part of each one of these from the previous modules fit into your antidote. What parts of these help make up this unique thing that we are calling your antidote? How do you find those? And how do you chisel out what your antidote really is? For example, if I were to go through these in terms of meditation, my favorite kind of meditation is awareness meditation or breath work meditation. For exercise, I love playing volleyball with my now fiance or doing martial arts. That is one of my favorite forms of exercise. With goals, I've got a bunch of goals, not only with the business that I work for, but the business that I'm building here. And I've also got systems and routines implemented around those specific goals. With environment, I've changed my entire environment here where I get the most things done into a space that I associate with productivity and mindfulness. My mental and emotional tactics of choice have everything to do with becoming more aware. I've taken a liking to reading a lot more this year, and I think that really scratches the itch of helping me become more aware of the things that I want to become aware of in the realm of digital mindfulness. And lastly, scheduling. I've really dialed in my schedule and my routines, especially my morning and my evening routine, which we'll also talk about here in this module, to fit my antidote. So all of the things that we've gone through in this entire course are super key to not only understanding for yourself by themselves, but also for building your perfect antidote. And remember, your antidote is inherently different from the next person. So don't go off of my schedule and don't go off of my antidote. Find your own. And with that, why don't we dive in? And remember, before we continue here, I really would love it if you could use the journal. We built this journal so that it will eventually become the playbook for you to reference back to whenever you feel like you need to. After you've completed this course, it will house all of your notes, all of your personal thoughts, and then all the answers to the questions that we've developed to help you comprehend and reflect on the material that we've built for you here. So thank you so much for being here. I cannot wait to get into the rest of the lessons for the last module that we're a part of right now. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for filling out the journal, and I'll see you in the first lesson.